Oh, hi guys. Welcome to the first virtual Shrewsbury Folk Festival, and this, the Morris Party, hosted by JD and Folk. Things have changed recently, and we have tried to change as well, so we've made this year's instalment of the Morris Party a slightly more relaxed, let's say hopefully classy event. First of all, we go to Buckinghamshire by way of the northwest for a team named after a wonderful administrative part of Buckinghamshire, the Chiltern Hundreds. They'll bring us a northwest clog. I hope you enjoy it as much as I will. The Chiltern Hundreds. The next episode in this evening's narrative comes from Scotland. In fact, the premier Scottish rapper dancing team. Gersak will now present a video with outstanding spirit of song and vicious grace of dance. It is Gersak.
Hajshinsuus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, 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 Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Hajshinsuus, 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 Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Hajshinsuus, 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 Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Eterus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel, Hajshinsuus, Suskabanetrus, Suskanavanus on Ushkriel.
Yay! I was in time and everything.
Gersak there, weren't they great? Up next, a submission of inspiration in isolation. We present a special item, Berkshire Bedlams in lockdown.
Every Thursday night for the past 500 years, or does it just feel like that, Berkshire Bedlam Morris have met at the Scout Hut. That is, until lockdown. Jameson has been foreman of the side for most of his adult life, despite periodic attempts at not being foreman anymore.
Well, practice have actually changed very little during lockdown. I was always the first person to turn up at the Scout Hut on a Thursday evening anyway, and now I'm simply the first person to log into the Zoom meetings instead. Alan, are you frozen or are you ignoring me again? And just like any other practice, I still have to wait half an hour before someone else bothers to turn up. But Jerry, he's always the last to log in. He has to lie down for his nap after dinner. Ask him to do something and half of them pretend I'm muted. They never bloody well listen to me anyway. You know, I've given my life to this team, and what thanks do I get, eh? Okay, we'll try that again. It's the right foot. No, the other right foot. Oh, for sake, how many right feet do you have?
But what of the dancers? How have they been coping with Morris in lockdown?
It's been very frustrating for me, really. I only just recovered from an injury at the Winter Carnival where I was mauled by an angry chihuahua, and I was really looking forward to a season back at full fitness. But in the first Zoom practice I jumped rather too enthusiastically and hit my head on a ceiling light. And after 2 weeks with a concussion, I was ready to dance again and tripped over the kitchen bin. But still, I should be healthy, ready for September.
Keeping fit and active is essential at these times.
big passions of football and Morris both on hold for the foreseeable future, bagman Malcolm has been strongly encouraged by his wife Jen to spend more time in the study.
Well, actually, I've had a great time in lockdown. The website has required almost no maintenance except for cancelling all the future events. And I've designed some fabulous new team spreadsheets.
It's not just the younger members who have been affected by lockdown. The team's oldest dancer hasn't had any visitors since March.
Takes me back, all this does, to the big Berkshire freeze of 1954. The snow was so high when we left the scout hut, we had to dig ourselves out with shovels to get home. By morning, of course, we'd been snowed in and several weeks before we could actually leave the house.
Also, by cunningly collecting team subscriptions before lockdown and then not spending any of the money, it looks like we're in for a massive profit this year. Have you booked those flights yet, Jen?
Mind you though, internet was really bad back in those days. My old mum, God bless her, used to get up and go out and wind up the mould den every morning. And you'd be lucky if you could log on to a Zoom meeting before the blasted thing needed rewinding again.
For many teams, recruitment is a recurring issue. 10 years ago, Berkshire Bedlam developed an ambitious and thus far successful youth academy scheme, which has seen its members go out on loan to Fool's Gambit, Black Swan and Nifty.
So when we first joined the side, of course, you get sewn into your breeches, and we're not allowed to have a new pair unless someone larger than you leaves. I haven't been allowed to grow since I was 12.
What? They never told me that.
Young Robert will be okay though, because Simon's old breeches are available for if one of us spends lockdown putting on a bit of extra weight.
Of course, that was the year when young Cecil Sharp turned up at the Scout Hut. If only he'd arrived on the practice night, he might have collected some of our dances.
One section of the team finding lockdown practices easier than most are the musicians. And Roy.
As musicians, we have to be ready for anything because the dancers never actually tell us what's coming next.
Not now, Roy. I'm in charge of the magic Berkshire Bedlam percussion bag. To keep my skills polished during lockdown, I've taken to practicing to the theme tunes of various daytime TV shows. The triangle really adds something to Bargain Hunt, and the cowbell particularly enhances Escape to the Country.
Not now, Roy.
Of course, before the melodeon was invented, we had to fashion whatever instruments we could out of the bits and pieces available in the Scout Hut. Then someone brought in one of those newfangled gramophones. Then we used to dance to new stuff like Dancing Queen and Saturday Night Fever. You had to be careful who did the winding though. I remember young Simon used to crank so hard he had a sore wrist at the end of the evening, and he often used to finish too quickly.
You could be forgiven for thinking of the Morris as a very English tradition, but it has always welcomed anyone who thinks that doing this kind of thing in public is a good idea.
You know, had I been locked down in France, I would be out and drinking du vin dans les rues by now. It is, how you say, the way the cookie crumbled, n'est-ce pas? Naturellement, I enjoy being part of this most English tradition of arsing about with a bunch of other blokes. We have nothing quite like it en France. There, the traditional team spent much of the lockdown arguing over how to hold little fingers via l'internet. And who was at the front of the line?
John has been in the UK for several decades since moving from his native Austria.
I have been in England for several decades now, and can honestly say that BB is one of the 3 top teams that I have danced with in that time. In fact, I would go so far as to put them in the top 99% of teams nationally.
Of course, all the dancing was in black and white back in those days. Our original kit was a lovely grey colour. Of course, we've always been popular with those celebrities. Robert Downey Jr., that bloke from the police, you know, the one, what's his name? Oh, the stick. You know, and Elvis Presley, he's danced with us.
I'm not Elvis Presley.
Then, of course, there was those Beatles.
I'm not a Beatle. Just wasn't real.
And in the 70s, we even inspired some of the village people.
Oh yeah, no, that was me.
Dancer Ben has had his photographs of Morris widely used, sometimes with permission. He's keen to document the Morris as realistically as possible.
When I'm not dancing, you can normally find me with a camera in my hand, taking photos. And I think I like to see my role as half artist and half historian. So as well as taking pleasing images, I'm there to document the side and document Morris dancing in the UK as it is these days. And oh, sorry, hang on a minute. Hello? Yep. No, I'm looking at it now. Look, I've already taken it in. Another couple of inches. It's not going to look natural. Look, you're a middle-aged man with a fondness for lager. You're not Miley Cyrus. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Okay.
What does the foreman actually do in Berkshire Bedlam?
Well, the foreman is there to separate people when a fight breaks out.
Imagine him as like the cox in rowing. In fact, we often refer to Jameson as the cox.
The foreman is the creative light for the side, the inspiration for all our dancers. Without him, the side would be insignificant.
You told me he did what Malcolm told him.
Well, when I first joined, I thought La Danse de Maurice was a tribute act to Maurice Chevalier. You know Maurice Chevalier, Gigi. Ah, mais oui, le nouveau chapeau de Zozo, c'est un chapeau rigolo. Sur le vent.
Look, I'm trying, it's just not looking natural. I mean, well, do we have any shots of him smiling? What about that footage of him watching Kinnywood? Perfect, I'll take the head of there and I'll swap them around. Brilliant.
How does Berkshire Bedlam make you feel?
Proud.
Makes me proud.
Embarrassed.
Well, on a Friday morning, my legs feel quite sore.
What is your favourite and least favourite dance?
Least favourite dance would probably have to be Old Woman Tossed Up in a Blanket. It's just a bit cruel, really.
My favourite dance is the Berserker, because you can just do it, well, without any sticks or without hankies, and you can do it naked if you wanted to. Least favourite, I don't like, what's it called? Shooting, because it just is too dangerous. I don't know why we persist with that.
Where do you think the team will be in another 500 years?
Probably holograms down at the Scout Hut on a Thursday night, I should think.
I'll still be foreman, that's for sure.
Hopefully Morris has just been forgotten about, and we've just been forgotten about along with that.
Well,
I'll be running the team by then, and we'll have high-tech hoverboards to dance on. Ow!
Et surcoté à la beauté roquée, rêve original, la 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 la. And then I've stayed for the dance, because it's a jolly good thing.
And so we take our leave of Berkshire Bedlam, safe in the knowledge that, like a dormouse, they will be ready to emerge after this extended hibernation.
Right, darling, is that a wrap? Can we finish now? Oh, good, good. Can I have my money? Cash, we agreed, didn't we? No, cash. No, I definitely said cash in the contract. Absolutely. Hammersmith paid cash. Yep, cash, and they had better biscuits as well. Bloody amateurs.
Oh. Did I miss anything?
Great stuff there. Up next, a Shrewsbury favourite and a staple. Here to warm our hearts, in costume symbolising the coal fires of Ironbridge, it's the glorious Iron Men and 7 Gilders. The excellent Iron Men and 7 Gilders there. Up next, it's a pleasure for me to be able to introduce a team with which we have had our fondest memories at Shrewsbury over the years. Presenting to us a dance they would be prepared to show to the girl next door without fear of retribution. It's the excellent, the energetic and graceful Shropshire Bedlams and Martha Roden's Tuppenny Dish. And so, we close the book on our first virtual Morris party at the first virtual Shrewsbury Folk Festival. Dan, what did you think of everything?
What?
Thanks, Dan. And we'd like to thank all the teams who've participated in this evening's show. We've had the Chiltern Hundreds, Gersack, Berkshire Bedlams, Iron Men and 7 Gilders, and Shropshire Bedlams and Martha Rodens. Most importantly though, we'd like to thank you for tuning in, supporting and hopefully enjoying the first virtual Morris party. From all of us here at Shrewsbury Folk Festival, we'd like to say we hope you stay safe and we look forward to seeing you at next year's festival.